Dear learners, welcome for this online video session of Raman spectroscopy. As in my previous lecture of theory and principle of Raman spectroscopy, I have discussed about the basic difference between IR and Raman spectroscopy, but today we will discuss about the difference between IR and Raman spectra. So let us start with the lecture. So these are the learning outcomes. After attending this video session, you will be able to understand the mechanism of Raman spectra and you will be able to differentiate IR and Raman spectra, and you will be able to explain the mutual exclusion principle. Now we will see the difference between IR and Raman spectra. So basically, if we want to understand the basic difference between IR and Raman spectra, we should know the basic difference in the mechanism of IR and Raman spectra. So what is IR radiation? So IR radiation arises when you can say there will be change in a dipole moment, or you can say there will be a change in a distribution during vibration. And in contrast, if we will talk about Raman spectra, then the basic principle involved over here is scattering. Means what? If we observe scattering, this involves the momentary distortion of electrons. As we know, the molecules have bonds and these bonds are surrounded by electrons. So in scattering, there will be a distortion of that particular electrons which are distributed around the bonds in a molecule. And this distorted form of a molecule causes polarization temporarily. It will produce temporary polarization and it develops an induced dipole which disappears upon re-emission, or you can say relaxation. Because of this fundamental difference in a mechanism, Raman activity of a vibrational mode is different than IR. Means what is the basic difference over here? There is a difference in a mechanism. Now we will see homonuclear diatomic molecules. As I have discussed in my previous lecture, the homonuclear diatomic molecules are Raman active molecules. So here this is the example you can see over here. For example, you can see this kind of homonuclear diatomic molecule. You can see this is the example of O2. So as like O2, the hydrogen, chlorine, fluorine, you can say any diatomic molecule has no dipole moment. No dipole moment means no IR activity. Means these compounds are IR inactive. Polarizability of the bond between two atoms changes. Means you can say in stretching vibrations. If we talk about this particular molecule, what happened over here? It reaching a maximum at the greatest separation and minimum at the closest approach. So a Raman shift corresponding to that of vibrational mode results. Means because of there is a polarizability changes, we will observe the Raman shift. Now this next is mutual exclusion principle. So what is mutual exclusion principle? So you can say in one sentence, for molecules with a center of symmetry, there is no IR active transitions. But the molecule which have a center of symmetry, that are Raman active, For example, if we will talk about carbon dioxide, if we are taking example of carbon dioxide, what happened over here? There is no change in dipole moment for symmetric vibration. You can say symmetric stretching vibration. There is no change in a dipole moment. So this is IR inactive, but Raman visible. This is IR inactive, but here Raman visible means Raman active as a 2 oxygen atom. Here you can say this is the oxygen atom. You can say there are 2 oxygen atom and this in the center is a carbon. So what happened? So these 2 oxygens are going away from the center atom, or you can say coming toward the center atom. So there is no change in a dipole moment. That's why this compound is IR inactive, but it will produce a symmetric stretching in Raman spectra. That's why it is Raman active, and this Raman shift of CO2 will observe for symmetric vibration at 1388 cm inverse. But what about anti-symmetric, or you can say asymmetric stretching vibration? Here this is IR visible, means there is change in a dipole moment, but IR visible means Raman inactive. So here what happened? The polarizability of one bond increases and the other one decreases. So there is no more change in polarizability, but as we can see from here, there is a change in dipole moment as one atom coming towards the center atom and one atom going away from the center atom. There is a change in a dipole moment. So asymmetric stretching vibration is IR active but Raman inactive. So this is the mutual exclusion principle for molecules with the center of symmetry are Raman active. Now we will see by example what is the difference between IR and Raman spectra. So this is the first example of mesitylene. So this is the comparison spectra of IR and Raman of mesitylene. Here you can see this is the Raman intensity. It's a 0, 2, 4, 8, 10. Then here this is the IR transmission, means percentage transmittance. So it's in the range, and here there is you can say the wave number, or for IR it's a wave number, and for Raman there is a difference in a wave number, but the unit is centimeter inverse. Now here what happens, see, as we have seen that for the center of symmetry, means the molecules which have a center of symmetry are Raman active but IR inactive. But for some non-centrosymmetric molecules, many vibrational modes may be both Raman and IR active. But here we observe the difference. See, as we have seen in this is the structure of mesitylene. This is the IR spectra, IR transmittance spectra. Here you can see the spectra, but this is Raman spectra. So what is the basic difference? As we can observe that here what happened, some bands we are observing are weak. Over here you can say this is a weak band, but in IR it's giving a very strong band. Here there is a band and here there is no peak. Means what? For this kind of molecule, all of the vibrational modes are there. The intensities of the bands are different because there will be a probability for the transitions are different. For two mechanisms, transitions are there, but the probability of transition is different for different mechanism, for IR as well as Raman. So in some molecule, we are observing only IR peak. In some we are observing only the Raman lines, and in some molecules we are observing both lines. But here there is a change in intensity. Now, the next example is comparison spectra of indene. Here also this is the structure you can see. This is the structure of indene. So here you can see this is the IR transmittance spectra of indene, and this is the Raman spectra of indene. So here you can observe that IR giving a more intense peak, but Raman have a very less intense peak. Here you can observe IR is giving a less, or you can say a very weak band, but Raman is giving a strong band at a particular, or you can say same frequency. So sometimes what happen? See over here, we are observing peak at a same frequency, but we are observing a different intensity because of there is a different transition. Now, next is the Raman spectra. As we have seen, the comparison between IR and Raman, it is very clear. What is the difference between IR and Raman spectra? Now, this is the Raman spectra of ethanol and methanol. How we can differentiate the Raman spectra of ethanol and methanol? So here, this is the Raman shift. Now see, this is the peak of, or you can say spectra of a methanol. So what is the structure? CH3OH. So here we are getting two peaks. One is for CO stretching, other one is for CH3 deformation. Deformation means bending vibration at this particular frequency, and here we are getting OH stretching and CH stretching. But there is no peak of this particular CH2. There is a difference in this particular area. This is the difference between methanol and ethanol. Here there is an extra peak of CH2 bending, but this peak is not there over here. So this is the comparison spectra of ethanol and methanol. Now in the next lecture we will see the interpretation of Raman spectra and the depolarization ratio. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can email me on this email ID. If you have any doubt, you can contact me on this number. Thank you, dear learners. Happy learning.